And I want to let you know from outside looking in, feels like it's going swimmingly. Feels like from all the things we're learning from Kaboli inside the locker room, he said he's creeping around the corners watching. He said you're making great headway with the relationships amongst your teammates and the way it's all kind of responding. How important do you think that is to have a relationship with your teammates? And how important was it to be signed with the Steelers before mandatory minicamp to get some face time? Like, was that a thought whenever it was coming into the timing of when you would join a team from the beginning, or kind of how did we get to that point?
I had conversations with Mike T every single week, and it was really through those conversations that this became a reality. So, I think most people who come to the Steelers talk about one of the reasons being Mike T, and I can say, that was right at the top. Just the conversation that we had, felt like you're talking to an old friend, honestly. So I really appreciate those conversations throughout it. I really love Arthur. I want to send my love to him. I obviously did it personally, but the passing of his father last couple of days was, sudden and very sad. So Arthur's a great man, and really enjoyed conversations with him during the process and out there at minicamp. But it's been really good. The guys were great. They welcomed me great. It's fun in the quarterback room. We already got a great group chat that's going good. And Mason, Skyler, and Will have all been great. So it's been really fun. I had a really nice 3 days on the field and then 4 days before that with those guys.
Will Howard talks about how you said, "Hey, I don't want to overstep my boundaries here." Okay, with Will, I don't want to do too much, but I'll be here however you need me. Obviously, we all watched what he did in the college football playoff last year, where he took that Ohio State team after the bummer loss to Michigan. The bummer loss to Michigan, which he was probably concussed in, and multiple other people as well. Certainly. But nonetheless, bad loss to Michigan after an early fumble to Oregon. They kind of sneak in and are underdogs all of a sudden in the playoffs, and they catch fire, and Will Howard plays ball right in front of these eyes because we're on the sideline. That was better than anybody we had seen all year. I mean, you're talking about making every pass. He's a big son of a bitch, and he was friends with his entire team. What have you learned about Will? And whenever you go up to him and say, "Hey, I don't want to overstep my boundaries," are you legitimately just trying not to big bro him there? Like, is that what you're trying not to do? And do you feel that amongst the entire locker room now that you're like actual OG in entire NFL and have been for a couple years now?
Well, I think even though I come in with 20 years of experience and 17 as a starter, like, there's still a part of earning your stripes and paying your dues. And even though, I come in with that, that past and that background, I think it's important to, to come in with humility. So that's what I've been trying to do with the guys. And in the quarterback meetings, and I told Tom Arthur, quarterback coach, I said, I'm not going to speak up. I'm not going to slow things down. I'm going to study back at the hotel room and ask you questions on the side. I'm not going to interrupt the room. However, as we get into this, I want to help those guys out. Mason's played a lot of football, so has Sky, but Will's a rookie. And so I pulled him aside during one of the days and I said, listen, I want to help you as much as possible, but I'm not going to overstep my bounds. If you want assistance, I'm here, buddy. I want to help you. From the playbook, I have my own mistakes and things that I needed to learn from. That's where everything's going to come from. And if I can help you become a better player this year, that would be an incredible achievement for me. Because number one, he's a real good kid. I mean, he's a sweet kid, and he's had a lot of great success, at the college level. But I was impressed by him. Obviously, he worked once the rookies came out in May. I thought he looked really sharp. He made a bunch of great throws. I think there's definitely some things I can help him with, and some things that are different at the pro level. And I'd love to help Will and set him up to have a chance to be the guy for the next who knows how long. I think that's part of the opportunity. It's not the job. I've seen other veteran quarterbacks talk about it. It's but it's the opportunity. The opportunity to help Will out is one that I really am looking forward to, and excited about getting back there to Latrobe in just a few weeks, I guess, and getting things going.
Yeah, St. Vincent's good time. The thought of you wanting to pass the torch to Will Howard and pass the game on to Will Howard, is like such a perfect fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers because growing up in Pittsburgh, I think I didn't realize that other places weren't like this, but the Steelers are like a college. Especially because there's only been a couple coaches over like a 40-year period. So like everybody feels connected. The OGs come back. It's just like alumni is coming back. I think they still run some of the same calls that have been called since like Steel Curtain days so that whenever alumni come back, they feel like they're a part of it. You obviously were a part of the Green Bay Packers organization, which is obviously storied and very much a similar franchise in a football town like the Steelers. But have you, in your research or your experiences thus far, kind of felt that about the Pittsburgh Steelers? Like the outside perception looking into the Steelers culture is what you thought it would be, or have you noticed anything about it?
Well, I mean, you got to say there's a few cornerstone teams in the NFL, and I was fortunate enough to play for one of them for 18 years, and now I'm fortunate enough to be back on one of them. There's only a few of them. They're kind of the core teams. Not that the other teams are any, I'm not dissing those other teams. It's just there's a history of excellence in Green Bay, going back, starting in the 20s and the run in the 60s and the stuff that we accomplished. There's 13 NFL championships there. Pittsburgh had a run in the 70s with 4 championships, and then Ben got 2. They got six Super Bowls. There's a history of excellence that comes with a team like this where when the alumni comes back, the names. I think there's something special about that when they can roll out a ton of Hall of Famers, and it's a pretty cool deal. And then you got a Hall of Fame head coach in Mike T, who's who's one of the coolest guys I've ever been around in the game, and I'm enjoying that friendship that's building. I'm enjoying sitting in the meeting room and listening to him talk to the team. I love it was a weird experience in the best way for me to not take team reps in the minicamp because I just got to watch. So I just was watching and everything. I don't miss a whole lot, So I'm watching the dynamics between the offense and defense. I'm watching the dynamics as the leadership starts to show what it is, and I think that's the thing is really exciting about Pittsburgh is the built-in leadership that already exists there. And once we get our Hall of Fame outside rush backer signed, you're talking about another guy who's a leader, not just by example, but by with his words. But Cam Hayward, from the jump, the conversations that we had before I was even signed, and then at the events that I went to at his house, and then at the golf course, just being around him and watching. He's like the OG of the team. And maybe he's happy to not be the oldest guy on the team anymore, but I love watching his leadership and watching him go about his business. And there's a lot of great leaders in the team. Just talking to Minka, what a high football IQ that guy has. It's been really interesting just to watch him practice and then to have to pick his brain in the locker room. And there's a lot of great Pat Queen. Getting to talk to Pat. I played against him a few times. He's a dog.
Yes.
But there's some guys you don't know about that I think you're going to start hearing about as we get past this lull in the sports world and get into training camp and football season is around the corner. There's some real good young players that got a chance to make a name for themselves this year.
Can't wait to watch all of it come together. And you chit-chatting about how it is in the building is a reason why Pittsburgh is a football town. Always has been, always will be.